YongYang, and then we have been 35 years of business excellence, and we are the leading roofing and solar energy specialist. And for this solar energy, this is actually our office here, you can see. And we are CIDB, STs, and also SEDAS registered company, which is Sustainable Energy Development Authorities company. So these are all the government agencies regulating the renewable energy market in Malaysia. And we are one of the service providers providing that to actually cater to your service. So we are actually coming from a humble beginning of starting as a roofing system solutions provider, and then as the government start to promote and also implement the solar energies in the Malaysia, we venture into solar business, and we are the integrator or the solar PV system provider. Yeah, make it the solar system suppliers. Yeah, okay. So we are serving residential and industrial market. And we are also solar PV investors as well. Yes, nowadays you can have different models. Besides buying the solar energy equipment, a CapEx solution, we could also offer a OpEx solutions whereby you do not need to buy the equipment, but we could actually sell the energy to you so that you could reduce your energy cost literally at zero cost. Yes, it is at zero cost. So moving forward, we also assisting companies and businesses to go into green building solutions to actually further enhance their carbon footprint and also the energy, water, air quality and enhancement as well. So a little bit about our team. Thanks to our team, we actually also one of the ESG Positive Impact Awards gold winner in renewable energy. So this is actually our commitment to assist all the companies in renewable energy adoptions, promotion, sustainable management, and protecting the natural resources. Yeah. So we are actually, as I mentioned, we are the one-stop roofing and solar consultation system design provider. So whereby we assist you to check on your roof as well before it's the solar installations. As you know, where do you need to install your solar panels? It's on your roof, right? So we are here to come and check and do the necessary inspection for the roof condition so that you can have a very smooth project execution later on. Of course, after that, we are also with the liaison with the authorities and utilities at TMB. So we are helped you to assist all this liaison work and also to us. And for the, you can see here, as we are the SEDA service provider, we also liaising with MIDA. Yeah, I think MIDA is in this event as well. So what does MIDA offers is green incentive tax allowance for companies that actually installing solar panels or solar energy system in their premises so that you can have further energy cost savings. So moving forward, we also couple with our smart energy management system because by renewable energy is actually a low-hanging fruit, but you're switching over, but you still need to do further. How do you do further? You can actually reduce your energy consumption. That is also another essence part of it, whereby you can actually reduce the energy costs by going energy efficiency and also renewable energy. And of course, after building the systems, we could also provide you a holistic service comprising of maintenance, customer care after the system is installed. Yeah. So we are talking about carbon a little bit today. So where are we today? Also from as far as so many years back, and to what we are having now, we are facing is one of the climate change issues is the global temperatures and the carbon emissions. So you could see here, this actually is a very close relation. I will say that with the increase of the carbon emissions, it will also increase our temperature of our Earth. And that's where we are experiencing high temperature, higher and higher day by day, because more and more carbon dioxide emissions that we actually produce to the air. And that's why we need to put our effort, we need to play our part in reducing the carbon emissions for to protect the natural resources and our Earth. Okay. So this is actually a snapshot of what the global gas emissions versus Malaysia in the energy mix. So as you can see here, why we use more energy, we are contributing more to the carbon emissions. The reasons comes here. Because as high as 70% of our energy sources is coming from the coal and gas. So that's how we're actually contributing to the carbon emissions productions, as well as the increase in the global temperature. So, and I will say that energy consists of as high as 73%, actually it's very small, of the global greenhouse gas emissions by sector. And that's why everyone here, we need to also play our part in efficiently use the energy resources. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is actually a diagram showing the path for decarbonization for the industrial players. So as a whole, you can see, as I mentioned, there are so many processes for the industry businesses, and there are the various, we call it, there are scopes emissions that is created and also produces. So in general, there are 3 scopes emissions that covers here: scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3. What does this really mean? Okay, scope 1 actually comes from your directly productions of the carbon emissions. Could be from the equipments, from the facilities, for the vehicles, etc. For scope 2, which is actually what we are emphasizing today, is mainly contributing by your energy uses, which is your electricity. Yes. So which is, you can see here, scope 2 comes from the purchased electricity, purchased heating, or the purchased cooling. Yeah. So what does the scope 3 comes from? It also comes from other supply chain related carbon emissions, such as transportation, distribution, waste, etc. So as you can see here, this is actually a holistic diagram for where these industrial processes contributes in terms of the scope emissions there. So it's in scope 1 is over here, or scope 2, which is your energy uses or the electricity purchased from the grid. And scope 3 is coming from your value chain. Yeah. So let me just go zoom in further. Yeah. So where we are today, I know probably solar is not a very new term to everyone today. I think most of you will have seen solar panels or solar heaters, etc., in your daily life. So for the solar advancement, I would like to share a bit of how the solar advancement in Malaysia for the past decades, how it works to be. Malaysia started to have these programs of the solar programs. So the first program was actually the Surya 1000, which started as early as 2006. So back then, I think it's not so popular. But as more and more programs being introduced, we can see more and more adoption and acceptance by the nationwide of our electricity consumers. So we have seen here the government has rolled out a feed-in tariff, and then moving on after feed-in tariff have discontinued, and now moving on to NEM, or we call it net energy metering. And also, we also have a CellCo for the large industrial consumers, which is self-consumption, the energy. And we also have the LS, large-scale solar, and also a corporate green power program. So these are all how we actually could play our part by participating in all these programs organized by the government agencies. And as we all know, in the latest budget as well, government is very emphasized, and also we have a lot of programs related to renewable energy per se. Yeah. So we have involved for the policy, but as a whole, that solar energy is a policy-driven mechanism to market-driven mechanism. So, and we can actually observe from this chart. So a little bit on what is a corporate green power program. As you can see, this is actually a program just announced by our ministers. So it's actually for them to, it's a program to encourage businesses to actually reduce a carbon footprint and eventually to help to reach the carbon neutrality and also the net zero emissions by 2050. Yeah. So the recent budget also touched about new energy transition roadmap. I have a short sharing on this. So basically, the NETR, or the Neo Energy Transition Roadmap, will actually target to reduce the greenhouse emissions, or which is our carbon emissions, against the GDP by 45% by 2030 compared to 25 baseline. So Malaysia energy sector actually plays a major part of it, which is the gas emissions of almost 259 million tons a year. That is actually from the data of 2019. So climate change also poses a threat to the global economy, and moving forward with potential losses according to the 10 to 46% of GDP. Yeah. And also, some of you would also have heard and possibly might be impacted by the upcoming EU introductions of the carbon border adjustment mechanism, which will also affect on the exports to especially to the EU or the European market. So more and more industries are actually very encouraged to go for reduce your carbon footprint, and these are related industries such as iron, steel, aluminum, and consumer appliances. And besides the EU, we also have the US introducing the Inflation Reduction Act, so which is prioritize the production and demand domestically produced clean energy goals as over imported ones. So these are some of the issues and also challenges which will be actually highlighted in this new energy transition roadmap. So I have touched a bit on scope 1, scope 2, to scope 3 earlier. So how actually it will be related to this scope, and what we can do, and what are the strategies that we specifically can undertake. In terms of the energy efficiency, will be look into your energy management, how you manage your energy consumption, and potentially in the EE part, you can actually look into reduce your energy cost up to 30%. Yeah. And for the renewable energy, which is what we could assist you today, is actually you can reduce also your energy costs up to 20% or more, depending on your total unit energy usage, what is your roof area, and also what is your budget. Definitely, we could assist you to at least achieve your reduction of the carbon footprint just by installing solar panels on your roof. And I would say this is actually another low-hanging fruit. And this is actually also will term as the direct on-site direct reductions of the carbons, which is you install on-site and then you reduce your carbon emissions. Moving forward, we also have renewable energy reductions of off-sites, whereby there will be a green energy certs to actually facilitate this. And we call it the renewable energy certificates for companies that want to achieve the net zero carbon vision. So this is actually the detailed description of the scope 1, scope 2, scope 3. So today we are more focused on the scope 2, whereby, just to emphasize again, so by reducing your carbon footprint in your purchased electricity, just by installing solar energy system, you are looking at reducing your scope 2 carbon emissions. So as I mentioned about the off-site mechanism, or we call the REC, or Renewable Energy Certificate Mechanism. Some of the MNCs are looking into this actually to further enhance the carbon emissions, because whatever we have done on-site is maximized, and then whatever is actually remaining is it can be further do it by introducing this off-site mechanism. So what we'll do is we'll have solar energy plants that generate the solar energy, and you can purchase the credits or the green energy credits, and this will belongs to the company who purchase it, and they can use it for the records for the off-site generations and reduce the carbon footprint. And with the EE, RE, and the off-site RE, then you definitely is possible to achieve a net zero carbon emissions mission. So you could see here, the mechanism works whereby you have a solar energy plant and generates the energy, and then we will issue a REC cert for every 1 megawatt hour. And the purchase company that signed the contract to purchase, they will actually owns that renewable energy cert, and it could be used for a calculation in a carbon emissions footprint. So I would like to move a bit on the solar PV modules, which is actually the major components in our solar energy systems. So it's using the state-of-the-art monocrystalline technology. And with what does it mean? Means it could harvest the highest energy possible with the smallest roof area. That is the efficient energy the cell is, then you can harvest more energy with the smallest area. And the superior warranty, we have 25 years, we also have 30 years. So you can talk to our sales consultant. We could actually assist you to provide more information related to it. Yeah. So this is another equipment that you need to install in a solar energy system, typically, which is a solar inverter. As we know that whatever is produced from the solar panels is actually DC powered, so you need to have a converter, or we call it an inverter. Basically, that converts the DC to AC. Then you can actually apply and utilize the energy directly and to reduce your energy costs. So another aspect we will be taking care of is actually the mounting system, whereby the brackets will be installing on your rooftops, and you are using it to support the solar panels on the roof, and with the necessary calculations and also with a careful design to actually ensure the wind capacity and no penetrations to the roof possible to minimize the leakage issues, etc. So we also come with not only hardware equipments, will come with software, such as a smart AI monitoring software, so whereby it will be coupled with a weather station to actually keep on collecting the data and to ensure that you have the access to the data and you will know what is the performance of the real-time system. As you can see here, we have a charts here. So this is actually the typical real-time maximum demand profiling that we also assist customers to see how much you are using real-time for every hour, every minute, every second, and also how much is the solar energy able to reduce your energy cost for every day, every month, and the consequence, and also for the accumulated as well. So these are some of the snapshots here. And yeah, so this is, as you can see here, this is a typical solar energy production curve, which is the green color curve here. You can see that the energy will start produced as early from 7 to 7. So you will see that the sun goes up and the energy start to produce, and then it will reach the peak around 11 to 2 or 3 p.m. like that. So this is actually a good sunny day curve. And then you can see this is actually the curve of your energy usage. So when the solar energy starts to produce, you will see your energies from the TMB going downward. And this is your real savings coming from this solar energy system. So moving forward, there are some data, especially sharing on different locations of the potentials application or harvest of the solar energy according to locations. As you can see here, we are actually relatively on the north. And on the north side, we actually kind of blessed with the abundance of sunlight. And we are up north there, which we have a very good sunlight irradiations compared to other states. Yeah. Another benefit about installation of the solar panels on your rooftop is you actually also enjoy a lower roof temperature. As you can see here on this diagram shows the area with the solar panels, it has a relatively lower than 3 degrees on the rooftop temperature versus the area that is not installing with the solar panels. Okay. Just to recap a bit, on what is Malaysia's carbon emissions factor. For those who be interested, I have a quick slides here. So it's showing that for every energy of the kilowatt hour that we use, we're actually contributing to 0.78 kg of carbon emissions, which is also equivalent to 0.7 tons of carbon emissions per megawatt hour. So this is how is actually you can calculate how much you're contributing just by taking off your TMB bills, and then you could actually calculate it. And this is actually some of the emissions reductions on sites further, as I mentioned. Besides RE, you also can explore energy efficiency strategies. So there are some of the strategies here. You can go for energy rated, 5 stars rated appliances, and also to go for a minimum energy performance standards, this is also in line with what the government plan to roll up in the Energy Efficiency Act moving forward next year. And also energy audits and also energy management will also help you to reduce your energy costs by having the data and also what is your current baseline and could you go further to reduce the baseline. And we also, energy efficient building design will also contribute to reduce your carbon emissions by reducing your energy costs as well. So these are some of the applications that we have calculated here from different sites of actual installations. So for example, for this particular project or system, it's actually contributing to almost 1,000 tons of CO2 per annum. As you can see here, CO2 PA means per annum, yeah. So we also have more and more covering different industries, whereby we have packaging, medical, plastics, automations, medicals, and rubbers. And these are all the businesses that have been contributing of reduction of the carbon emissions per year, as stated here. As you can see, more fruit as well, steel, poultry, industrial equipment, hotels, yeah, etc. And also a medical device manufacturers here, it even has a reduction of almost 3,005 tons of CO2 per annum. And another semicon manufacturer, they can even have a bigger system as much as 5,005 tons of CO2 per annum reduction. As you can see here, all the roof, they are covered with the solar panels. And moving forward, this is actually some of the net zero carbon or the sustainable development goal solutions. We also could actually assist clients in energy efficiency, carbon score rating, green building, etc. Energy management system I have covered earlier. Yeah. And moving forward, this is our missions and everyone here to achieve the net zero carbon goal by having a net zero energy first, which is your first step, by going for renewable energy and also we also see EV is also coming on the way. Yeah. I'm coming end of my presentation. So this is my, you can reach me through this contact listed here. So I'm happy to take on any questions. I would like to end with a short video clips here. So hope you enjoy it. And thank you everyone for your attention and time again. Thank you.